Hi. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. I wanted to share something with you today. We're going on to part two on you're not alone in your battles, in your struggles. Sometimes it seems like you are. I recently had to deal with something that was a little personal for me. And I went searching to see if it was something unheard of. And then you find out there's so many people out here who are dealing with the same thing. And you go, okay, you're not alone. But with your fights, with your battles, as I was sharing on yesterday, and I do apologize, my my cat came in, and anyway, so I kind of abruptly kind of closed up my video. So I want to try to make sure I completed what I was saying, and that is, when we're dealing with our struggles, sometimes the attacks that we go through. And I was sharing on yesterday about how, going on my job and finding out, I had Michael fighting for me, and the different outlines that we have read, how you're going through things, but you find out that you're not by yourself. There's somebody who's fighting for you. I had one time in my life dealing with an attack personally, spiritually, whatever it may be, financially, whatever it was. When I was going through it, I found out that I do have, these spiritual angels that come in and they swoop down and take care of things. That's where I kind of pulled the name Oya from. Oya comes from, when it's injustice done, Oya Dorisha gods, the goddess that comes in, a warrior that comes in and fights for those that's been unjustly treated. And that's what she does. She swoops down and handles it. And so that's how I adopted that name. Sometimes people ask, where you get Oya from? Well, that's where it comes from. Do a little research on it, you'll see. But our fights. I had times in my life that on my last video, I was talking about how when one of the gentlemen had spoken in one of the comments about, about the revenge thing, right? And it said, revenge belongs to the Lord, and so forth and so on. And I say, many times when I've had it attacks by people, by things, right? Whatever it may be, somehow I don't have to do anything. I can just sit back and wait. And there is a scripture in the Bible that talks about when people come against you. We're going to talk about people right now. When people come against you and then they become pompous, right, and arrogant about what they did to you, how they, try to bring you down, to destroy your life, to ruin your reputation, whatever it may be, they go out their way to attack you, and yet and still, you remain who you are. If you're full of integrity, you don't lose that, honey. Don't lose your integrity for nobody. Don't allow what anybody does, anybody says, to cause you to change who you are. You remain true to you, right? Because a lot of times they're just waiting for you to step out of line, to show the world or those around you that you're not who you say you are. There are people who get a joy out of trying to destroy your reputation. You know, too many people think too highly of you. I don't like it. So my job is to make them believe that you're not who you say that you are. And that happens. But remain steady, remain faithful, and continue to be exactly who you say that you are, irregardless of what the attack is. Prove them wrong. How you do that? You be true to who you are. Just be true to who you are. And in time, it's going to reveal itself. Ooh, good gracious, I can tell you that many times. Many times, right? Someone has said, she's not who you think she is. If she doesn't do this. And again, I tell you, I am not perfect by far. Honey, you ain't got to dig deep to find some errors, some things in my life that I probably wish I had not had done, and things that I have done that I wish I had thought twice before I've done it. But to say to you that I have no intentions of ever doing what is correct would be a lie. I live my life the best I know how to be full of integrity, to be responsible, and to live like I want someone to respect where I am and what I do. It doesn't always bring a crowd, but I don't look for a crowd. I don't even like crowds. You know, sometimes even in a crowded room, I'm still alone. The room is crowded. I'm surrounded by people, but I'm still alone in that room. And I choose that. That's my reasoning for doing that, right? You could have 100 people in the room or 1,000 people in the room. And yet and still, you sitting there by yourself. Because what you stand for, what you do, is just who you are. And then I found out too, when you have a certain task in your life, a lifestyle you must live because of the task that you have, sometimes it keeps you alone, right? The less people you have, that way when you share things with people, they can't say that you knew about that because you're not around people to know, right? But back to what we were saying about how it is that people who think that they are hurting you turn around and only hurt themselves, right? Whew. You just have some just mean people, just mean and hateful. Ain't got nothing else to do with their time but just try to figure out how to hurt people who they think are happy. Because I tell people this, happy people don't go around trying to figure out how to destroy somebody's life because you're too happy. People who are miserable, that's why the old saying says misery love company. It is so true. When people are miserable, honey, they go out their way to try to bring misery your path, in your way, right? But when you live your life as happy as you know how, and you do the things that you enjoy doing, it's going to bring about nothing but good things to you. But in the scripture, it talks about those that try to come against you, right? And like I said, they're very arrogant after they try to hurt you. They try to, destroy your life, your way of living, even try to come against your finances, right? They get haughty, head up in the air like they're somebody. And the scripture says, they'll look like a green bay tree, they look like they're standing really big. But then one day you'll see them, they'll wither like the grass. One day you'll see them standing, the next day you can't find them, right? And I've seen people who have gone out their way to try to destroy good people. And then down the road you find out they start to lose everything they got. They're losing stuff. Because what they were trying to do was cause other people to lose what they had. And what happened, it just reversed itself back to them. Again, whether or not you want to call it karma, you're reaping what you sow. What goes around comes around. However phrase you choose to pull, it is what it is. You can't go out in this world and do good and don't think good is coming back, because it is. When you're being a good person, the best you know how, and you're out here doing good things, great things got to come back to you, because that's what you're putting out. You're sowing that. You're sowing great things. So great things must come back to you. It must come back. It's the way of the universe, right? And the same thing if you're doing bad. If you're out here doing bad things, don't expect a whole lot of great things to happen. And sometimes people say, why do bad people always get blessed? Well, you see that at? Let me tell you something. It may look like their life is going on and they got it going on and things are looking great it looks that way. But if you're paying attention to that, you're missing your life. I don't care what people are getting. I don't care what they're doing. That's their life. I must focus on mine. If you're spending too much time worrying about other people, then you definitely ain't worrying about yourself. You ain't putting in enough time with you because you're focused on everybody else. Ain't you watching stuff that's happening now? All these people that were spreading themselves like Green Bay trees, honey. They would look making you think that they had it going on, millionaires, billionaires. And all of a sudden their world now is crumbling down. And not just crumbling down, honey. It's happening from the whole world. Everybody knows their dirt. Everybody knows their mess. Everything they've been doing in the dark is come to the light. Right? You want to be exposed that way? I sure don't. Right? But here we are. Sometimes we idolizing the wrong things and the wrong people. You know, I tell anybody, always have been this way. It ain't gonna change tomorrow. I tell anybody, there ain't nobody I chase behind like they are a god. Nobody. It ain't been a band. It ain't been a person speaking. I don't care who they are, millionaires or not. I don't chase behind nobody. If they in town and I feel like seeing them, I will. But chasing behind somebody everywhere they go, I'm some kind of groupie, honey, no. I ain't no spiritual groupie, and I surely ain't no rock star running behind. I'm not. Well, that's Jenny O, y'all now. This is who she's always been. I don't chase behind her. I've been to events where great people were at. Millionaires, honey. And while everybody else was going there, I was out there doing something totally different because I was doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I was working in my way, you know? And that's what I did. And I'm going to share it to you because I got to have a story before I close this up because it's not going to be long, you know? Good gracious. I don't know the year. Let's say 2006. 2006, they used to have a mega fest going on, you know, down in Atlanta. And I went with a group of people, whole van load of folks. We all went down there. And every day they had these great mega speakers out here speaking. Honey, your girl, she got on the MARTA train. And she riding downtown. And they told me, whatever you do, do not get off on this certain stop, because that's probably the darkest place there. You know, people really mean, you know, blasey. That's okay. Where I go, the darkest place there. I gets off that train and I walks around that little train station, talking to people, smiling to people. Honey, they was just people to me. And guess what? Some of them spoke and some didn't. But the ones who spoke, honey, I was throwing a smile on them. And my intentions was to shine light in those dark areas. That was my intentions. I didn't need to go to the Mega Fest. All those people already supposed to be saved, shining their light, getting more knowledge. I wanted to go and shine some light too. And just go into places nobody wanted to go. You know? Honey, when they got back on at the end of the day, they always say, what you done did? I was out there in the laundry room at the hotel, had ladies out there in the laundry room talking to them, be praying for somebody in the bathroom. I was doing the work, honey, everywhere I went. I don't think I spent hardly no days out there to the Mega Fest. You know, I felt like I'm doing the Mega Fest right here. You know, so I was doing my thing all around the hotels, going downtown, sharing light. And I wasn't, hey, toting no Bible. I was just telling them about love, honey, and smiling with people, and got great results. And then when I was getting ready to leave, the people at the hotel was like, she can come back, you know. And I'm like, I wasn't trying to win no attention. I was just being who I'm supposed to be and doing what I'm supposed to do, you know. And everybody's riding the gravy train. I ain't mad with them, but don't get mad with me now. If I'm doing what I believe I'm called to do, right? And that's what I do. Go wherever it is. I don't care where it is. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be, you know. And I love it. Going to the grocery store, honey. Some people in there trying to shout. I I got to speak to them. You know, I gotta speak to them. And then when I go talking to them, and how you doing today? Oh, it's hot outside. Hot. Oh, honey, it ain't hot yet, honey. They got it. Let me tell you. And I just go from there. And they go to laughing and smiling. And before you know it, they say, honey, you made my day. And that's what I want to do. Make your day. You know, that's it. You know, it's not about being in competition. It's just being who you are. And that's why when people come against who you are and they are attacking who you are, don't worry about that. You see this army? All these people who are rooting for you because you're about doing great things. You're doing an awesome job. And see, you may have a select of people of 20. That's the only people that you have been assigned to, 20 people. But you be the best you can for them 20 people. Honey, the reward is great. That person over there got 20,000 people. They can handle that. Let them be great. Don't worry. We're not in no competition. We're just being. But while you're being and being the best you know how to be, you're going to have rifts. Do never expect to go out and be doing a great work and don't think oppositions ain't coming, because oppositions is the reason why you become great. That's how you know who you are. That's how you know what kind of power has been invested in you. The oppositions. How you know how strong you are until you start lifting the weight. You know? You go to the gym talking about, yeah, I can lift 30 pounds. How you know? Till you start lifting it. Then later on you find out, you know, I don't lift 100 pounds a day. You know, you don't know until you start doing it. But a lot of times, somebody has challenged you on something. They have fought you on something. But you look at that and don't get disheartened. They doing exactly what they're supposed to do. You must have enemies. They must come. My son wears a hat, you know. Thank you, haters, you motivate me, you know. You know, and they do. People who don't like you, they motivate you. They should make you get motivated. Because there's no reason why they shouldn't like you, because you ain't done nothing to them. But if they don't like you, must be something you're doing that's great. So get motivated. You know what I mean? Let them motivate you. Let them make you feel, you know, thank you. Because if I'm drawing attention to you to the point you don't like me and I haven't done anything to you or anything wrong, then I must be doing something right. I must be affecting what you're doing. You know? I lived on a street. On this street, it was known to be a dark street. I lived on the street, right? I didn't know until I moved on there. They said it's called In the Hole or something. It was a bad street. And and so every day, this is what I did. They talked about on the corner of our street was drug dealers. The drug dealers was on both corners of the end of the street. And I said, we got drug dealers down here? They said, yeah. I said, okay. So I get up every morning, put my t-shirt on, and sometimes my jeans, sometimes I have on a long skirt. And I'm going down there. And my t-shirt always have a writing on it, right? The next time the devil reminds you of your past, reminds you of your future. Something like that, right? My t-shirt. But I walked down that street. And I was just baiting. I was baiting, honey. See, fishermen, when you learn to fish, honey, you got to use the best bait you got. I was the best bait that I could have on that street. I'm going to tell you why. I walked down that street, and the guys were singing, and they go, woo, woo, and I'm steady walking. Got my little t-shirt on, steady walking. And one of them, I always pull one. I got to pull one, right? So by the time I walk to the end of the street and get ready to cross the street, some guy says, hey, what's your name? I said, my name is Queen. He said, Queen, can I walk with you? I said, sure, please do. And they go to walk with me, and they go, oh, you know, they come with a little game and a little play, right? And I get them down the street a little bit walking, and they said, where you going? I said, to heaven. You want to go with me? They go, oh, Lord, you saved. I said, yeah, ain't you saved too? They go, oh, Lord. I said, anyway, and I go talking to them, and they go, Oh Lord, I done picked up somebody's save. I said, yes, you did. They go, well, I gotta get back. I said, no, 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 you can't leave me on the street by myself. I said, you gotta walk me all the way home. And they go, I said, come on. We go to walking, and while we walking, I'm telling you, you need to stay off that corner. And then look, by the time they get to my house, they be trying to. This is probably what 95, 96. By the time they get to my house, they be trying to run back. I said, hold, wait a minute now, we got to pray. We got to pray. I said, I got to pray for you. And I hold their hand and I go to prayer. Lord, you keep them off that street corner. I said it every time they try to sell something. I said, you bind their hands. And I go to praying on it. And look, that time they leave and go down to that in that corner, I go in the house, I sit on that porch. The next day I go down there, I would do the same thing. Somebody will pull me. The word ain't got out yet. Leave that woman alone who's walking down the street. Here comes somebody else. Hey, what's your name? My name is Queen. Can I walk with you? Sure. And I was picking them up, honey. And I was hitting that word on. I was beating them with that word. And then praying for them to stay off that street corner. Later on, I go down that street corner. When I got to that corner, they would disperse. They see me coming, they was just. I said, oh, see, I told you I was a powerhouse. They left the corner, honey. They see me, they go to running. I said, whoo. But guess what I did? I cleaned that street corner. They wouldn't hang on that street corner no more. And let me tell you what was going on now. 2 buildings down from that street corner was a church. A church now. I can talk about it now. At that church, I was walking one day, had my little t-shirt on, my little long skirt, going down there, right? I'm walking down there, and the lady, the pastor of this particular church, was outside. And I was walking by, and a guy was out there trying to cut grass. She told that guy to get in the back of the church, like I was a prostitute or something walking down the street. And I spoke to her, I said, good morning. She didn't even open her mouth and speak to me, and walked away. I said, look at this. Now suppose I was walking the streets. Suppose I was a wily woman that she thought I was. That was her opportunity to speak to me and share with me her good news, right? Your church is right here on the corner. She didn't speak to me, huh? But guess what? They didn't clear that street, and they was next door, 2 buildings down from the corner, and they couldn't clear the street. This little woman here lived a block and a half away. She got that street corner clean. No drug dealers was staying on that street corner at that time. As long as I stayed there. And I stayed there for about 3 years. That woman, one day I saw her at a church. And she's up there, oh yes, and she's talking. I'm looking at her. Look at here. Look at this now. Look at this. And she couldn't even speak. Honey, I got no, because I feel like this. This is how I feel. You can comment if you need to. Ain't no need you tell nobody about the good news or how great God is. And you are one of his people. And you can't show love to everybody. Your job is to talk to the people who are in darkness. Not to snoop your nose up at them and think you're better than them. And then try to criticize and put down somebody because they don't look like you. Right? Come on now. People are missing it. And that's why a lot of people don't get the respect they want. You know? When I was coming up, and people heard that there was a woman coming into the room, all the guys would stop cussing. They would put away their cigarettes. They would put away their drinks because they respected the woman who came in the room. If they knew you was in church, they knew you was coming by, nobody would be cussing because they respect the person because you signify something. Today, they'll pass that beer right in front of you, blow smoke on you, weed too if they need to, right? Because the respect goes both ways. You can't tell somebody to respect you because you in church, and you can't respect them because they ain't. Because the only way you're going to win somebody, honey, you got to be able to give them some sugar. I told somebody the other day, you trying to daggone fry a fish before you even catch it. And you can't even clean it because you ain't caught it yet. But you're trying to fry it. How you doing that? How you going to fry a fish that you ain't even caught? You know, and you're going to be a fisherman. You got to show love, honey, to people. You got to be lovable. And our problem is, we've lost the love that we need to be having. You talk it now, but you ain't got it. Not everybody, so don't ride signal. But I'm saying, right? So the things that I was doing, I did it out of love, right? And one of the guys, he would see me sometime going downtown, and he'd be ducking behind me, you know, aisles and stuff. I'm like, who is that ducking like that? And then I saw him. He did one of these numbers. I said, what is that for? He said, lady, ever since I met you, you prayed for me, I can't sell nothing. I can't even be on the corner no more. I said, well, what you mad with me for? You ain't supposed to be there no way. He looked at me, he said, don't pray for me no more. I said, just because you said that, I'm going to have to pray again. You know? But I did it not to put people down. I love doing what I do because I want to see people in a better place. That's it. That's it. Not to criticize people and think I'm better than them. And sometimes people make you think that they're better than you because they living in an area or a place that they don't think you live in. They have no idea how you live. They don't have no idea who you really are. They're just making an assumption. We know about an assumption, right? And think it's cool. And then you're doing all of this under a name that people need to respect. And I'll leave it at that. Because you probably pick up what I'm putting down. There you go. You know? Don't worry about it, honey. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about anybody who coming against your character, coming against your lifestyle, coming against your name, coming against your brand, coming against your business, coming against your marriage, whatever it is. Don't worry about them. In time, their life will go to crumbling right in front of you. You just be. You do. You stand and you smile. You know? Because you know one thing I will do. When I know I have an enemy out there, they'll never catch me with my head down. I don't care, honey. If I just got knocked out my head and I got a big lump, I'm trying to hide it. But when I see them, hey, you'll see that smile. They'll never know. They'll never know that I, am having a bad day. Because it makes people happy who are your enemies to know you're having a bad day. So don't give them that kind of, don't make them feel good. Don't give them that kind of, pick up that they feel like they have ruined your day. They've made you feel bad, People out here, honey, trying to do crazy stuff, One lady tried to bankrupt me, I think, She tried to take money from me and hit my account for $600 and some odd dollars. And she did it with a smile on her face, right? I was teed now. I was teed about it. I was ready to light into her too, like a daggone Christmas tree. But you know what? I was hot now. Now when you get old, y'all hot. Now you can work with Jenny, but don't get old, y'all hot. Old y'all gets hot now. She wants some blood. She wants some blood and some turnip greens. Period. I'll be hot. And I said, let me get myself together. Look, I'm mad now. So when I'm mad, I tell people I don't like getting mad. I'm like the Incredible Hulk. I don't like getting angry. Because when I get angry, I want some blood. I need some blood, honey. Somebody to give me some. So I said, I'm hot now. And I had to inhale and get myself together. And I said, okay, that's okay. She meant this for my bad. I said, she done took $600 out of my account, right? And it damaged my account now when she hit me. But I said, it's okay. It's okay. She laughing about it. It's funny to her. It's okay. Let me tell you what happened the next day. The next day, The next day, my auntie sent me $6,000. My auntie. She don't she don't even remember what she did it for. She said, I want you to fly out here. She sent me $6,000. 6,000. That $600 I lost, that she thought she would hurt me with. Please. Honey. Yeah. So let your enemies do what they gotta do. They'll never beat you though. Cause you got a team. A royalty. You hear me? People on your team that can take care of you. Period. You know? And guess what happened to her? Ain't too much of nothing. And then when I hear something that happened, somebody come tell me this happened. I said, don't even tell me about her. Cause I don't have no feelings anyway. Yeah, nay. So don't even call her name before me. Cause she got nothing from me. You know what I mean? Cause she dirty. She daddy. I don't do daddy. So remember, you're not alone, honey. There are things that we all going through, but you're never by yourself. Remember to always pray for me. Pray for me, sweetie. You know, thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you for your time. Thumbs up. You know, put me a thumb up. Subscribe if you need to. Help me, pull these numbers up. Not because I need it for that, right? But it's just so I know that you find me interesting. Because I am. Thank you so much. You have a fabulous day. On my way out here to work, get make this Wednesday, great. Because I got plans. Something good is going to happen. And it happen for you too. Let your light so ever shine. You be awesome in everything that you do. Thank you for your patience and your love. God knows. I know you love me. Y'all don't know what you do for me when you send me those love comments. But it blesses my heart because I need them. Love you so much. You have a blessed day. Jenny Oya, Nuggets and Thanks.